Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. Star Citizen Alpha 4.1.1 will be dropping to live early next week and is getting better and better. As always, a huge thank you to all of my patrons and channel members. Thank you so much for the support. Cannot do this without you guys. It is much appreciated. Now, there has been many new 4.1.1 patches since my last video covering its progress. Now, I won't be running through each one in detail, but I will highlight many of the new additions that will help to elevate this currently great patch even further, especially in quality of life. Now, firstly, as I am sure many of you are aware, Cloud Imperium conducted a 2-hour performance and stability test a little while ago with the Idris that is docked above Area 18. And from what I heard, they had about 450 players on board the Idris alone, with great stability, great performance. However, there was just one crash. Now, it is always great to see Cloud Imperium pushing their tech to the breaking point, as it really helps to highlight any weak points and areas that can be improved. Now, I don't know what the results are of this test. I don't know if they've mentioned it anywhere. I haven't seen it anyway. But as I say, all of these stress tests really help to just push that technology and improve the game as it grows. Now, for another build, a new update to scanning was brought in, well, a fix as it states, and now instead of displaying a player's name on the ship, it will only show the ship's serial number until it is scanned, at which point it will then start to reveal more information like the owner. Now, this is likely a step required before they can update all of the new mining and radar and signature systems, which has been heavily in the works for quite a while now. Having the whole process of exposing more information is something that will certainly be needed for data running and smuggling and so on, and hacking, but also just general day-to-day flying, seeing who is around. Hopefully this is a good sign that this very important system update will be making its way out to us soon, but it certainly looks better than having players' names all over the place. And hopefully this is a good sign that this very important signature and scanning update will be making its way out to us in the near term. Now, for a different patch, it states that they have greatly increased the turret and main weapon capacitor ammo across many ships and turrets, including the Redeemer, the Retaliator, the Reclaimer, the Gladiator, the Karak, Starlifters, the Valkyrie, Star Runner, Caterpillar, Corsair, the Cutlass Black and Cutlass Steel, the 400i, the 600i, the 890 Jump, the Starfarer, the Polaris, and the Hammerhead. So, pretty much most ships, and this will all be part of the ongoing continued balancing. Also, a word of warning from Cloud Imperium, any equipped item or armor will disappear when 4.1.1 goes live. So make sure you strip off or store your gear in your local inventory before the patch drops, otherwise you will lose it. There is a fix coming for this post 4.1.1, so it shouldn't happen again once 4.1.1 has gone live, but for the initial release this will happen, so take all your gear off before 4.1.1 drops to live. Now, this is clearly a teething issue with the recovery tier 0 system, or the item recovery tier 0 system. Glad to hear they have a fix for it, but yep, I just hope I find the time to jump into my 4 different accounts to strip off. Now, in other builds, they have increased the Scorpius and Hurricane turret ammo and recharge rates. Ship weapon recoil reactions have been added, and they are testing this on a few vehicle weapons, including the CF-337 Size 3 Panthers, the Annan Reese 12 cannons, and the Polaris cannon as well. There is an option to scale the effect or disable them completely, depending on what you prefer, and I do quite like the feeling of it. It does give this sort of greater sense of oomph, but I have not properly played with the scaling of it, so I don't know where the sweet spot will be. But I guess that is up to each player to figure out for themselves. They have also updated comm calls with the new 3D building blocks. This is an ongoing task, or an ongoing piece of tech, is the 3D building blocks that has been in the works for some time. I actually completely forgot about this. But this means that the characters' faces and animations will be seen via the MFDs for mission updates and other communications. Now, it is a really nice touch to actually see a character pop up and communicate during these missions, rather than them just being walls of text. But I am also very interested in seeing what else this 3D building block tech can be used for, which we did see some potential use cases a while ago. I'll see if I can find it. I can't remember where it was shown, but there is a lot of range and options here. Now let us take a look at the latest patch. This build dropped very early in the morning yesterday, and it was stated by Cloud Imperium that this particular build will be the first release candidate, and this weekend is the final soaking period before a live release for next week. Now they will be monitoring stability over the weekend and will address any issues that pop up. This build also has a fix for claiming ships, causing the previously equipped ship items to disappear, fixes for mining gadgets exploding when taking out of the inventory, and a quantum travel crash recovery fix for a bug that was causing ships to become unusable after a crash while in quantum travel. So some very important potential fixes there that hopefully stick, and by tomorrow, meaning Monday, if all goes well, we could be seeing a live release for 4.1.1. Although, if any issues do pop up, that could hold it off just for a day or two while they get them fixed, but it needs to come before the 15th of May, which is when Invictus Launch Week kicks off, so it is certainly not far off now. Now, what is also interesting about this particular build is that they have updated the mesh configuration from 7 servers in Stanton and 3 in Pyro to 5 in Stanton and 5 in Pyro. So basically evening out the servers equally between both systems. Now, nothing much to be said about this, as we don't know what they're testing or what their intentions are here, but they will certainly still be testing different mesh configurations to see what works best, especially while they work towards dynamic meshing. Now, for this build, one massive update that they kind of just slipped in there is that they have enabled quantum travel markers to owned and attended vehicles. Now, this pretty sort of small tweak provides a huge quality of life improvement, and this means that if you die, for example, you can just quantum travel directly back to where you left your ship. Or if you are living off-grid in a vehicle, like a Carrack for example, and you have a smaller support vehicle, you can land your mothership in the middle of nowhere and then fly around in your smaller ship, returning to the mothership as and when you need to quickly with the quantum travel. Also, this is great for orgs using capital ships, but I'm sure there are many other use cases. Now, it will also mean players are more likely to return to their ships and retrieve them, so hopefully less things just lying around cluttering up the servers. But overall, this is a very helpful update, and please drop any other potential reasons why this is useful in the comments. I would love to see what else this helps and fixes, but yeah, very happy to see that. For this build, they have also added size 3, size 5, and size 10 bombs to the Convention Center and Center Massa Area 18 in New Babbage, so offering a greater range of ordnance types. And in Core Tech, they have done some network performance optimizations to help reduce interaction delay. Now, with this build, there are still 9 known issues, with 7 of them being classed as critical and 2 of them classed as high. Hopefully they can scrub a few more of these before dropping it to live. They don't have to fix them all before live. They're not blockers, but ideally, especially the critical ones, they will get a few more fixed. There were 12 potential bug fixes with this specific build, including the 3 mentioned above, where they are monitoring these to ensure that they stick. But all in all, 4.1.1 is looking to be a very impressive patch with so much content, like new missions for many players, and plenty of much needed bug fixes, but also some very important quality of life improvements. It is so great to see Star Citizen's PU progressing much better now, getting to the point where it's so much more solid. Of course, there are still a lot of issues with it, but overall, it is a drastic improvement in terms of playability from where we were, especially during the 4.0 drop. With that said, though, I do hope we will see 4.1.1 drop to live either Monday or Tuesday. I can then kick off my new off-grid series, which I am really excited to get on with. We also have Invictus Launch Week with these great new vehicles, a potential Idris P release. Oh, I really hope so, and anything else that we don't know about. Plus, Cloud Imperium won't be stopping there. They will be getting straight on with 4.1.1 hotfixes, and likely kicking off 4.1.2 as soon as possible as well. So, all in all, as I say, really excited for 4.1.1. It is a great beast of a patch. Now, before I finish, if you would like to convert your phone or tablet into your ship's dashboard, GameGlass is offering 15% off any lifetime pass or 10% off a monthly or annual pass. Plus, you can use it for free. There is a free option where you get up to 3 shards, like this Aegis one. It is a great piece of tech that I use every time I play Star Citizen, and it certainly helps when you can't remember certain keybinds, just looking at your tablet and pressing that button. Plus, any purchase made using my link does directly support my videos, providing my channel with a direct kickback, so a huge thank you to all of you who have done so already, and to those of you who plan to do so. But with that said, that is it for this video. If you do enjoy my content, please do consider subscribing and helping the channel to grow. Also, I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 2 and 6 PM BST, either here on YouTube or over at twitch.tv/SuperMacBrother. You can watch me on either. The link is below. Very excited to be jumping into 411 very soon. Hit the thumbs up if you don't mind, it does the channel a big favour, and tick that notification bell if you'd like to be notified when my videos go live. Again, a huge thank you to my patrons and channel members. Thank you so much for the support. You guys are incredible. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.